special program, Mahaprabhu's Leelas. This is the pre-celebration of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as you all know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is on March 17th. We are just 3 days away from the very grand celebration. With that, we will start today's program. Today, we have two devotees presenting. First, we have our very wonderful Rani Mataji, who will be presenting the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, all devotees. I'd like to start the presentation with the Guru Pranama mantras. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Trishe Namaha. Today I'm going to talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Pauganda Leela. I'll try to cover his education and his brother Vishwarupa's taking sannyasa and his father Jagannath Mishra's passing away. So in those days, there used to be several reformatory ceremonies that they used to perform. Our Vedic culture system is such that every milestone in a person's lifetime is celebrated. Such rich was our Vedic culture. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father, Jagannath Mishra, performed several reformatory services. The first was for his Vidyarambha, marking the beginning of his education. The first ritual was Karnavedhi Samskara, that means piercing of your ears. What does that mean is it marks the beginning of hearing the Vedic literature or one becoming eligible to hearing topics related to the Lord and giving up hearing topics not related to the Lord. The second was Vedagni Shikha. In this ceremony, the child's head is shaved with only the shikha remaining. It is a sign of giving up karma kanda and progressing in the path of devotional life. The third was the Hati Khadi ceremony. In this ceremony, they worship Lord Vishnu, and after that, the teacher is given a long white chalk pencil, guiding the hand of the student. The teacher instructs him how to write the letters. Okay. So all these were performed, and thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's education started. The most astonishing feature of this pastime was how brilliant was little Nimai when he started his education. The Lord could write letters of the alphabet just looking at them once. Within just 2 to 3 days, he completed the study of the conjunct letters. The most amusing to me was day and night he enthusiastically would write and read names of the Lord like Rama, Krishna, Murari, Mukunda, Vanamali. He just did that day and night. So everybody, including the demigods, were most fortunate. That means Parama Sukruti, when they saw the Lord studying with other young boys of Nadia, and they just relished this pastime of the Lord. When the Lord recited the Bengali alphabets like Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, he was saying it with so much madhuri, sweetness, that captivated everybody around him. The 2 praharas, which is 6 hours that the Lord spent at studying the school, seemed like 2 yugas for his parents, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. So the learning we have from this is we all have to be very enthusiastic in any activity related to the God. At this stage of life, his brother Vishwarupa took sannyasa. I'd like to give a brief introduction of Sri Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa was the abode of all good qualities. He was renounced right from his birth. Every morning after bathing in the Ganges, he would go to Advaita Acharya's house, where he would explain devotional service to Krishna is the essence of all scriptures. He had no other desire other than serving Krishna with all his senses. He was constantly associated with the Vaishnavas, discussing topics of Krishna, performing devotional service to Krishna, engaging in worship of Krishna. Seeing the whole world was mad after material enjoyment, and that the seed of envy for Vishnu and Vaishnavas was present in everyone's heart, and that even the reciters of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam were devoid of devotion to Krishna, he would cry for the pathetic condition of the living beings. Vishwarupa was truly in distress. He returned home simply out of formality. And the desire for material enjoyment never appeared in the mind of Vishwarupa. He constantly remained in ecstasy of chanting Krishna's names. When he heard his parents were arranging for his marriage, he became very unhappy and took sannyasa, the renounced order of life, and he became renowned as Sri Shankararanya. His parents were heartbroken on hearing this. Gaurasundara lost his consciousness hearing this. The Lord felt the separation for his brother, who was his pure servant. After this episode, the Lord stopped playing and started concentrating on his studies. He wouldn't even leave books for a moment. He mastered the sutra by just reading it only once. He debated even his elders and defeated them in its meaning. Everyone praised the Brahmana couple, how blessed they were to have such an intelligent child. While Mother Sachi Devi was happy, Jagannath Mishra was very saddened, as he feared the more and more his son studied the scriptures, he would understand the temporary nature of this material world like his brother Vishwarupa, and he would also give up all material happiness and leave home. Such was his fear. Hence, Jagannath Mishra stopped Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's studies. After this episode, what did Vishwambara do? He resumed to his mischievous activities. One day, Jagannath Mishra went for his duties. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on a pile of old rejected pots. Seeing his friends rushed to his mother Sachi and informed her what little Nimai was doing. Mother Sachi immediately came running. She said, Nimai, these are rejected pots. If one touches them, one has to bathe. The Lord replied, you don't allow me to study. So how would I know the difference between good or bad? Or for that matter, between a fool and a Brahmana? I'm a fool, so therefore I consider all places equal. Saying this, the Lord accepted the mood of Dattatreya and spoke thus, I am never in an impure place. Wherever I am, the place becomes most sacred. Purity and impurity is only our mental creation. There is no fault with the Creator. Everything becomes pure after I touch it. In fact, these pots are not at all contaminated because they were used to cook food for Lord Vishnu. Thus, child Nimai spoke about the absolute truth. Still, nobody could recognize him due to his illusory energy. Sachi Mata said, come quickly. Let's take bath before your father learns about this. Nimai threw a fit. He said, I won't leave this place if you don't allow me to study. Everybody present started questioning Mother Sachi. Why don't you allow him to study? Parents go through great efforts to get their child to study. It is most auspicious if a child himself wants to study. You are very fortunate that your son wants to study. You should arrange to give him a Brahmana thread or the Yajna Sutra on an auspicious day and begin his education. Hearing all this, Jagannath Mishra eventually agreed. They performed the Yajna Sutra ceremony, which is the child receives the sacred ceremonial thread. It marks the beginning of one's study of the scriptures. Hence, Gaurasundara accepted the sacred thread and he resumed his studies under Gangadasa Pandita. Gangadasa Pandita soon realized that Nimai was the most intelligent of his students. He was very pleased. Nimai used to even challenge his senior students. So thus Gaurasundara continued his educational pastimes. Here back home, Jagannath Mishra dreamt of Nimai dancing and chanting in the streets of Navadvipa, followed by millions of people. He was convinced Nimai would leave home. Soon fear and anxiety grappled him. Shortly thereafter, Jagannath Mishra left this world. Sri Gaurasundara cried profusely on the disappearance of Jagannath Mishra, just like Lord Rama cried when his father King Dasharatha left this world. So, what was the need for the advent of the Lord, right? One might question. So the ancient system of devotional service had been almost lost due to the influence of time in this age of Kali. Sri Krishna himself descended in the form of Chaitanya Prabhu to teach us real knowledge and Yuga Dharma for the age of Kali. Real knowledge is devotional service and detachment from anything which does not foster Krishna consciousness. Vishnu Purana says Yuga Dharma as whatever is attained in Satya Yuga by meditation, in Treta Yuga by sacrifice, and in Dwapara Yuga by worship is attained in Kali Yuga by chanting Lord Keshava's names. I like to iterate the significance of chanting as explained in various scriptures. The Skanda Purana says, in the age of Kali, great devotees always chant the names of the Lord. Brihad Naradiya Purana says, 1,000-mouthed Anantasesha and the creator Lord Brahma cannot describe the result of chanting the Lord's spiritual name even once. We have heard that the glories of uttering the name are greatly astounding. By just once chanting the name, the soul attains the supreme abode. Adi Purana says, O Arjuna, the names of those who chant my name faithfully or negligently always remain in my heart. There is no knowledge like my name. There is no right like my name. There is no meditation like my name. There is no attainment like my name. There is no renunciation like my name. There is no equanimity like my name. There is no piety like my name. There is no shelter like my name. Adi Purana also states, my name alone is the highest liberation. My name alone is the highest shelter. My name alone is the highest equanimity. My name alone is the highest dedication. My name alone is the highest devotion. My name alone is the highest conception. My name alone is the highest love. My name alone is the highest remembrance. My name alone is the soul's origin. My name alone is the soul's master. My name alone is the soul's highest object of worship. My name alone is the soul's highest guru. Padma Purana states, the name is a wish-fulfilling jewel, Krishna himself and the embodiment of spiritual joy. He is complete, pure, eternally liberated, and non-different from the possessor of the name. In conclusion, Brihad Naradiya Purana has this. Hare Nama Namaiva Kevalam Kalau Nasti Eva Gatir Anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. So on this auspicious occasion of Gaura Purnima, which is the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, may we all pray that he rejuvenate within us the bliss of Chaitanya Leela. May we be blessed to meditate on, understand, appreciate, and benefit from the unparalleled mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow purely the process of chanting of the holy names and attain perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, that was very, very beautiful. The way you described the pastime, the Power and the Leela, and how nicely you told the importance of chanting. And in this yoga, that is the way for us. That's the most important. Everything we do is for chanting. Very nicely, you gave references from various Puranas. So that was really wonderful. Thank you very much, Mataji. Next, we have Rekha Mataji will be presenting the pastime. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Rani Mataji. Hare Krishna, all devotees for joining this program. Today, small prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today's presentation I'm going to do on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Antya Leela regarding 18th chapter. Rescuing the lords from the sea. This is almost end of the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I never read Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela or anything. I heard. Just in this process I learned so many things. How Mahaprabhu's mood and all, like, like let's start his pastime. When Mahaprabhu living at the Jagannath Puri, he always in thought of separation from Krishna. Every night of the autumn season, in the nice breeze and under bright moonlight, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to wander along with his devotees in many gardens and remembers Lord Krishna's pastimes and reciting songs and verses related to Rasa Leela along with his personal devotees. He sang and danced in ecstatic love with Krishna. Sometimes with ecstatic love, he fell and rolled on the ground, and sometimes he fell unconsciousness. Sometimes devotees recite the Rasa Leela. His personal devotees recite the Rasa Leela verses, and sometimes he himself recites. And while explaining the meaning of the Rasa Leela, Mahaprabhu would be very sad and sometimes very happy, and sometimes, these kind of transformation moments, Mahaprabhu exhibited 12 years, like in every moment and every day. For ordinary devotees living with the Lord Krishna's thought is highly impossible. I felt like, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada mentioned Krishna is struck with a wonder why seeing transformations, by seeing transformations of limitless emotions of ecstasy in his devotees. Many times Srila Prabhupada mentioned Krishna himself cannot fully understand the conditions, the mode of progress, the happiness and the unhappiness and the moods of ecstatic love of his own devotees. He wants to taste those emotions fully. Krishna accepts the role of the devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is true also. It is difficult to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna. Instead of that, giving the inspiration to others with our practice and exchange the Lord love to others is easy. But with the Swarupa Damodara Goswami level of devotion, can only fully understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's taste of love for Krishna. In the same autumn moonlight near the Aitota temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu misunderstood as a river Yamuna and felt distressed by the separation from Krishna. He ran and dove into the sea, and the waves carried him here and there like a piece of dry wood and carried him toward the Konark temple. He was unconscious in the water entire night. Meanwhile, Lord devotees with the Swarupa Damodara Das, with the Swarupa Damodara Goswami began searching for him, asking where the Lord gone, because they always associate with the Lord. That minute also they were there, but Lord was taken away by the waves. So suddenly they couldn't find him. So devotees wander the temple of Jagannatha, some gardens, and Gundika temple, Chataka, Kataka Parvata. Finally, they came to the shore accompanied by many others. So as a own relative or intimate friends, how we feel like a fear about our own beloved ones, like, what happened to them in that situation. Same with the Lord devotees also, even they served many, since they served many years and they associated many years. So they've also felt the same feeling with about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they tried in wandering and searching for the Lord. On the same beach, they saw a fisherman approaching with his net over his shoulder, with a laughing, crying, and dancing and singing, repeating Hari, Hari, Harinam. So like that, he is repeating. All the devotees surprised by seeing this, asking him for the information. My dear fisherman, have you seen someone hereabouts? What is the cause of your behavior? Fisherman replied, I have not seen anyone, any single person, but while casting my net in the water, I captured a dead body. I lifted it with a great care. I thought like it's a big fish, but it was a corpse. With a great fear in my mind, he said, he said, like, with a fear, he released the net and touched the body. Since he is a common man, he thought he found a ghost of a dead Brahmana body. He explained all parts of the body beneath the skin and remains alive, how it alive regarding the body. Sometimes body is making some utter sounds, and sometimes it was unconscious. I couldn't understand what happened to that body. After hearing all this, Swarupa Damodar Goswami could understand the full truth of the matter, and Goswami chants some mantras to subside fisherman's fear and asked him to show where the Mahaprabhu's body is. Then fisherman calmly he brought all the devotees with him and showed them Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They saw Lord's body and cleaned. They performed Sankirtana, loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna into the Lord's ear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hearing sometimes, after hearing sometime, Lord immediately got up and made a great noise. So what happened to me? When Lord was deeply absorbed in internal consciousness, he exhibited some external consciousness actions also. So devotees call that condition as a ardha bahya. Lord said he saw the river Yamuna and went to the Vrindavana, and there he saw the son of Nanda Maharaja with gopis and told he stood on the banks of the Yamuna in the company of the gopis. How we see, like in dreams, how we explain to our friends and family members, the same way Lord Chaitanya also is explaining what he has seen in the dreams, like in how Krishna and gopis also. Lord Chaitanya explained a whole splashing fight with the water back and forth by Krishna and his beloved gopis. They're fighting with the hand to hand, face to face, how little kids play and splash each other. The Lord Chaitanya was felt glad and satisfied through his ears and eyes. The Lord Chaitanya continued describing how Krishna and all beloved gopis serving each other like a massaging with the scented oils at the shore of the river Yamuna after they play. Mahaprabhu described their forest clothing, decorating with the fragrant flowers, green leaves, and all kinds of ornaments. How gopis arranged the fruits in orderly rows for eating, how they made a place to sit comfortably for everyone and for Krishna also. In Vrindavana, the trees and creepers are wonderful. Throughout the entire year, they produce all kinds of the fruits and flowers, and described Srimati Radharani had made various types of sweets from milk and sugar. After reading this one, I felt like, in winter season, like we feel very dull and motiveless like that. But Vrindavana's this description, like, and I felt so happy, like, and if it is like in our area all the time, that will be more, mind also will be healthy, and we can do service more enthusiasmly. So that's what I felt. By seeing all these, Lord Krishna happily had a forest picnic with the gopis and Radharani. How gopis fanned Radha and Krishna and massaged their feet when they lay down in the jewel room. Mahaprabhu explained his mind happiness after he saw whole incident. Suddenly you all devotees created a big sound and brought me back here. Speaking this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully returned to his external consciousness. Before he was off conscious, Ardha Bhava, and now he is in fully consciousness. So Lord asked Swarupa Damodar Goswami, why have you brought me here? So Swarupa Damodar Goswami explained what happened and how Mahaprabhu saved what happened to you and how Mahaprabhu saved by fishermen. Said like this, when you are in unconsciousness and witnessed the pastimes in Vrindavana, when we all saw you unconsciousness, we are all in a great suffering in our minds. Mahaprabhu understood his external actions after seeing Lord Krishna's in his dreams. It is not possible for a common man. Whoever in the spiritual path can show their pure love to Mahaprabhu devotees, like Mahaprabhu devotees and Mahaprabhu. Pure devotees, they see and feel happy Krishna's Bala Leela, Rasa Leela, and every action of his pastimes as in a Kurukshetra, and everywhere, whatever he showed, his pastimes, every actions, they treat the same with the devotion all the time. That's what, like, when we see the Leelas, like Rasa Leela, everybody says that it's so difficult. Of course, it is a little the body consciously, when we see that it is a little difficult to explain, but when we are in see that the Lord actions, and every action is the action, but this also is one of the action. That's what I felt when I'm reading. It's very blissful to read this Leela. I'm very happy to thank you to Veena Mataji and Jai Subhadra Mataji and all other devotees whoever attended for this Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And I always pray to shower mercy on me and bless me to move forward in this path. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji, that was so beautiful. You literally took us into the pastime and narrated it so beautifully. Totally relished it. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing such a beautiful pastime. With that, devotees, we conclude our program today. Thank you all very much for joining the Mahaprabhu's pastimes presentation. And tomorrow is going to be same time, 7 o'clock to 7:30. Request all of you all to join. And it's going to be the last day. After that, it's going to be directly grand celebration of Gaur Purnima. With that, devotees, thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Rani Mataji and Rekha Mataji, for the wonderful presentations. Very nicely narrated the pastimes.